All right, y'all ready? You want to go first? Hey, just like I said Friday, I won't keep you guys long. I know you want to get back to class. I know you guys want to eat on that food tray over there. But hey, this never gets old to me. This is something that's great for our school. It's great for our athletic department, especially our baseball program. So it's another special day here for us. Most of y'all don't know this, but Garrett and I have a connection that goes back about 35, 40 years. And it's his granddad, Daryl. He was my Little League coach back in the late 70s. And all this talk about the Jackson Coyotes, I want to hear it. I'm going to tell you, in 1978, Parkway Village Dodgers out of Memphis were the best Little League team ever assembled. Right. Is that right, Coach? Now, that was due to the fact we had a kid who was 14, had a full beard, he had to shave every day. That probably had something to do with him being the best pitcher in the country at the time. But we'll say a few words about Garrett. Coach Gibbs and I were driving over to the football game Friday night, and we were talking back and forth about what's the best way to describe Garrett Guymon. And we threw out some adjectives. We come up with, he's a very responsible kid, you know, very respectful. He's tough. I don't know how tough a 102-pound catcher can be, but he is as tough as a hickory nut. I mean, this guy gets beat up, banged up, bruised up, doesn't complain. He wants to stay in there no matter what. So I tip my hat to you for that. He's very reserved, very even-keeled, which I find a great attribute for an athlete. Here at our program, I like to treat our kids as kind of like my own family, kind of my own son. And at times I'll bark at them, and they deserve it sometimes. Sometimes they don't. I love on them sometimes when they need it. But the joy I find with coaching a team here or anywhere is the relationship you build. And along with that, you get the kid around with them. You get to joke around with them. That usually happens when they do something dumb. Well, Garrett doesn't do a whole lot of things that I consider dumb. I'm telling you, he keeps his cards pretty close to his vest. You know, he's pretty under the radar kind of guy. Except for one occasion. Now, think about it in these terms. My nickname for Garrett is G-Money. That's what I call him, G-Money. Except he screwed up. We have the only, that I know of, in the state of Tennessee, catcher model. Amen. So, the nickname is not G-Money now, it's GQ Money. All right? So, it takes a lot of guts to do that, and especially in a baseball locker room, I tip my hat to you, buddy. That took some guts. But one of the other couple words that I had to describe him is he's clutch. You know, there's some guys that just look for a moment that's big in the game. And to me, he's one of those guys. You know, he hit fourth or fifth for us the last 2 years for a reason. This past season at sub-state and as we went on to the state tournament, his last 5 games, he was 9 for 15. So, I mean, that's getting it done in a tough, high-profile situation. So, to me, that's clutch. But the one word that I have found that probably says to me what there needs to say about Garrett is that he's willing. This past season, we moved him around different positions. We put him at shortstop for a while. And he's never played shortstop in his life. And he didn't complain, he didn't gripe. His whole thought process was, hey, I'll do whatever it takes to help us. So we get to the sub-state. Now, granted, the year before, he actually pitched a couple innings over the course of that year. And he did good. But last season, we didn't find a situation to put him in as a pitcher. So he hadn't pitched in the whole year. So we're playing the sub-state game. It's the last game of that series. It's like a Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali fight. I mean, it's just a heavyweight boxing match. Just back and forth, back and forth. They throw a punch, we throw one. They throw one, we throw two. So it's 18-13, bottom of the sixth, going into the top of the seventh. And Garrett comes up to me between after the last out, and he goes, Coach, you know, if you need me to go out there and close this out, get these last 3 outs, I'm the man to do it. And I thought that said just volumes about his willingness to do whatever it took. But I had to back him down. I said, hey, we got a lefty on the mound, Cameron Tinker. He's going to take us home. And he did. So Garrett's signed in here today to go to Harding University. He's going to go play for a former player of mine. It's a great situation for him. It's actually his uncle Steve is over there. He's a track coach. He'll have somebody keep an eye on him. But I think it's a great situation. We talked about Logan and Brandon being cage rats. Well, here's cage rat number 3 right here. And all those swings that you took, all those innings you squatted behind home plate have finally paid off. And congratulations, man. Wish you the best.
I just happened to pick this picture up over here a while ago. The team must have been pretty good.
I was awesome.
Beating Coyotes. But Ronnie did say he went to the World Series.
That's back when you used bats.
But anyway, you know, so all weekend I thought about Garrett. You know, what do you say about this guy? 2 o'clock this morning, 3 o'clock this morning, I woke up thinking about what in the world do you say about a guy, like Coach said, is so even keeled. You know, he's probably one of 3 players I've ever coached in my whole entire life that I've never yelled at. Never. And the reason being, because this is where I'm going to go with this story, is I'll tell you why you were a catcher. He was awkward when he was young. I mean, I'm serious, a heart attack. I just asked Coach Guymon what size shoe he wore back in the day, and he said, I don't know, it's big. And it's like a 9 when he was 9. So he had these big old feet and long arms, and he was a little awkward. And then we had a crazy dad that his boy was left-handed, and he thought he could catch. And me and Coach Guymon was like, we got to fix this. And we found a very unique situation to turn Garrett into a catcher. And it was it was awesome to turn him into that. His dad, a lot of people worked with him to turn him out to be the catcher he is. And, you know, he's such an even keel coming from, you know, if I classified his daddy, he's like a hot-headed salesman, you know, right? And then his mom is so, like, proper and, you know, quiet and reserved. You know, and that's another thing that Scott said. He said, you know, we could turn him into a catcher because, you know, he's a lot like his mama. Mama likes to dress up. And, hey, that catching gear, he gets to dress up. And he gets to keep changing it out because Scott bought him a set of gear about every year. And that says a lot. But Garrett is a great kid like we've talked about in the past. Never gives anybody any problems whatsoever. And, you know, he is, you know, you talk about to the eyes of a catcher. I don't know if you've ever had a chance to put one of these on. And you talking about having the best seat in the house. A catcher has the best seat in the house. They get to watch everything, get to watch every jump an infielder makes, and they get to make adjustments. And over the course of time, I've seen him become a great leader. He calls time out, he goes out there and he tells them what he sees. And you better listen, because he has a perfect, you know, perception of what's going on out there. And that leadership skill will take him to Harding, and I'll tell you, he'll get to play early. Because I've seen the boy, and Coach talked about how well reserved he is. I've seen him play like 600 games ballpark. Never once seen him get mad. Not one time. Not one. So you're talking about how even keel and what it takes to be a leader at that position, because it truly is like another coach. And you know, you probably would have ended up pitching. I'll tell you that story too. That's my fault. Okay, I'll take full ownership of this. Because your dad used to try to sell me all the time. Hey, we've been working on this split. You know, this and that. And the whole entire time I'm thinking, man, he's got his plate full. He's trying to learn the hardest position on the field as a catcher. Plus, he's got to take all these reps hitting. It's just too difficult, you know, to do that. I couldn't say all this out loud, but that's the process of my mind. And not to mention at 9 years old, when he threw it down there, it's like throwing a grenade down there. I mean, a high arcing ball, but he learned to get it down there and have a great arm. But that's why you didn't become a pitcher. And also, Coach Guymon, we used to be down there in the lobby like Saturday nights before a game or what have you like that. And he'd say, hey, and this is how he tried to sell me. He said, hey, how about we start Guymon pitching and you bring in Logan and close this thing down? But what he didn't understand was that wouldn't work because I never want Logan to pitch at all. That is just not helping your cause. But he did, like Coach put him in that game there. He came in, he pitched well. Your arms got tremendously stronger. I challenge you, just like I challenged Brandon the other day. Your job, and you know, one of the cool things about it was Ben the other day, Chris Browse came up to me and he said, man, they're hitting down there, boy, he really loves it, da-da-da-da. So you're going to a fabulous place, a great program, and you're going to continually get better. But, you know, your role is to make him pick up that phone and tell him, see me another Garrett Guymon. And there's no question in my mind that that'll happen. Good luck. Sign.
Jeremiah 29:11 says that God has a plan for your life long before you live it. And I'm grateful that his plan for me has included baseball, people in my life, and everyone that is here today. I thank him for giving me the ability to continue the game that I love at Harding University. First off, I need to thank my parents. Throughout the years, they've been nothing but supportive towards me and my love for baseball. Without them, none of this could have ever been possible. All the sacrifices, driving to practices and tournaments, and all the money spent on things to help me get better. Mom has always been my life's teacher. She's always been there when I need her and helped me go through life the right way, a Christ-seeking, loyal, and respectful way. Dad has always been my coach, teaching me to play the game in the manner in which it should be played. He's always been a pitching coach, and I've always been a catcher, so our minds are practically the same at this point. I love them more than they'll ever know, and grateful for all that they have done for me. Next, I want to thank my family. Everyone in my family has always been so supportive. I cannot thank them enough for all the times they've driven to watch me play, no matter where it is. It's an amazing feeling to know how proud of me they are, and it's an honor to be in a family like ours. I always look forward to post-game phone calls to my granddad because he always has a teachable moment for me, whether I want to hear it or not. I don't have siblings to thank, but there's one person in this room that I truly believe is my #1 fan. She doesn't miss a game, wherever they are. I'm not really sure if she enjoys watching me play or just enjoys looking at all the guys on the team. But either way, I love you, Morgan. I'd like to thank Coach Carey, Coach Charlie, and my dad for being my coaches every year, all the way up to high school. No matter how old we were, they treated us like we were already in high school, and it prepared us so much for what laid ahead. Playing for a guy like Coach Carey isn't always the easiest, but I wouldn't trade a single butt showing for anything in the world. He is a person that players want to work with. The amount of respect I have for him is unreal. Without these coaches, none of this could have been possible, so I thank you so much for all that you have done for me. Next, I'd like to thank Coach Peel and Coach Giddens. Not too many people know the game of baseball quite like them, and to be able to learn and play for them is a great honor. Coach Peel's leadership and his Christian influence off the field has meant the world to me, and it's shown me that he truly cares about his players. I'd like to thank my teammates, many of which I've been practically with my whole life. I know for a fact that no other team has the chemistry that we do. It's a blast playing with y'all, and it's one thing I'll never forget. Thank you to USJ and all my teachers for preparing me for the next phase of my education. I want to thank the Harding coaching staff, Coach McGahey and Coach Schatzley, for giving me the opportunity to play at the next level. I cannot wait to see how the future plays out as a Bison.
Hey, Mark. How you doing, man? How about those tires?
Hey, you need more now?
Hey, what's up?
I know.
It's hard to know, right?
Hey, how you doing?
Congratulations. Thank you. It's exciting, isn't it?
Brian gonna do is he's gonna play poker. Take that money and let it go. That's a great life. Hey, man, I played that in Jack. Doing something you love, some baby girl picks you up and you can verbalize the game. That's the way it
Don't
works.
tell him that. That's for sure. Right? Decision maker right there.
You shoot through in the daytime, go to the movies, play ball.
Just keep going. Just keep going.
He's gonna be, I mean, he's gonna, I guess it all depends on what his year is.
Good to see you. I'll see you this spring.
Coach.
You know, he needs to play here.
I'll set y'all straight, man. It's Parkway Road Dodgers with 9 meetings. Coyotes had another one.